Welcome back to the Bariatric Fashionista YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 2 of my weight loss journey and bariatric surgery. And so today's episode, we're going to talk about why did I decide to have bariatric surgery. So for those of you who don't know, bariatric surgery is a surgical procedure that is performed either on the stomach or the intestines in order to activate or promote weight loss. And so for me, I decided to have the sleeve gastrectomy, and I'll link some information and videos on what that is, what it looks like, how the surgery was performed, because people like me that really had no strong concept of what bariatric surgery was, what would happen, what they do. I think it's important to kind of do your research and understand what the procedure entails. So I chose to have the sleeve gastrectomy, which is where they basically reduce the size of your stomach surgically. I decided to have weight loss surgery mostly because I've always dealt with weight issues all of my life. My weight continued to fluctuate throughout high school into my early 20s, especially after I had my first son when I was 18, and then I had my second son when I was 28. Weight continued to fluctuate. Got engaged in 2019, and dealing with the stress of trying to prepare for a wedding, I decided to also gain 10 pounds between then. So at this point, I'm probably roughly around 210, and then when I get married in 2020, the beginning of 2020, I've gotten up to about 220 at this point. So after we get married, COVID hits, of course, and everything shuts down. So now I'm working remotely at home, and food is around me all the time. And when everything shut down, like, I was not going anywhere, wasn't moving, constantly having access to food. I gained like 20 to 25 pounds while I was at home within a year and a half. And at that point, I was just so depressed, I would say, and just saddened by the change in my body. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. At that point, I didn't even want to work out, because it meant I had to leave the house and people would have to see me. And this photo, probably the year of my surgery for Mother's Day, was the breaking point for me. Like, I just lost it. I was like, I can't keep looking like this. But I wanted to talk about 5 of my top reasons why I decided to have the surgery. So my first reason was clothes. Never mind the fact that I was home for COVID reasons, so I wasn't really getting dressed, but gaining the weight, none of my clothes were fitting. None of my clothes were fitting, and I was just in yoga pants, athletic wear pants, t-shirts, like nothing was looking great. Look at her, nothing. And once you get to a certain size, unless you're going to like Torrid, Lane Bryant, or Ashley's, Catherine's, other plus size women places, which there's not a lot of brick and mortar stores, they don't carry your size, a 16 or 18 in the store. I could not find my size in the store, which meant I had to order it online, had to wait for it to be shipped, had to wait for, if I got here and it was too big, like, I had to send it back. Like, it was just a disaster. I was already feeling uncomfortable in my clothes. I couldn't fit my clothes. And yeah, that was a big one. Second issue, mobility. Like, it was becoming really hard for me to just like bend over and tie my shoes. Like, I would be out of breath just to do that. I have a friend that I normally go to furniture market with, and I was out of breath just trying to keep up with them as we walk through the furniture market, just to, like, this is something we've done multiple years at this point, and it was the most difficult that I had ever had trying to keep up. It was my third reason why I decided to do weight loss surgery was because as I got bigger, I realized it was really hard for me to wipe my ass. Like, wiping my ass was becoming a chore. Like, not that I wasn't doing it, but it was becoming hard to do. Like, I don't know if other overweight people can relate to this, but the bigger I got, the harder it was for me to reach my arm behind me and wipe my ass. So I was like, once I started noticing that, that just heightened things even more. I was like, okay, we've gotta start doing something for real. And my fourth reason why I have weight loss surgery, like, the bigger I got, I just became more insecure and withdrawn. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be photographed. I have a couple pictures that I'll probably show in this video from, like, just family gatherings within that first year and a half after COVID. And I just hated the way I looked. It didn't matter how nice my clothes were. It didn't matter how nice my hair looked. Like, my face was big and swollen. My body just looked round and enormous. Like, I just didn't feel good about myself at all. And then, of course, my number one reason on top of that was just health. Like, I wanted to be healthy, and I knew I wasn't gonna do that the rate I was going. My family has medical history of hypertension, diabetes, cancer. That's just something I really was afraid of. I didn't want to get to a point where I'm gonna go to my PCP one day and they're gonna say, look, your blood pressure is too high, or we're gonna have to put you on this medication. And I'm not one to want to take pills, which we'll get into, that in other videos down the road. But I'm not one to really want to take pills, even when I'm, like, in pain. So, like, pain relievers, that sort of thing. I don't like to take a lot of pills, and I just knew that, like, long term was not gonna be something I wanted to endure. And so the biggest reason that I decided to have surgery was to make sure that I was able to reduce any health risks for the future. Follow me on my next video. I want to talk more about why I had surgery, what the process was, and also answer any questions that you all may have, or that if you have upcoming surgeries that you may be anticipating. So comment, subscribe, and follow the links below, and join me in my next video.